everyone, and a very happy Thursday. Yes, we are nearly at the end of the week. I do hope you're having a great week so far, and that you do have something nice planned for the weekend too. Thank you everyone that has already tuned in, and thank you if you have already shared. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. The lovely Roxy will be behind the badge today, and she'll be popping in all of the relative links to the products that we do take a look at. So hello everyone that has popped in. It is lovely to see your little faces at the screen on the side. So I'm glad you are here. So we did have a new release last Friday. No, we didn't. It was Tuesday. We had a release on Tuesday. So today we are going to be looking at all of the new products in that release. So I am going to move you guys down so we can take a look and see what is in this release. Please let us know what your favorite thing is from this release, or maybe what inspired you from this release too, and how it inspired you and how you want to use it. Okay, I did have this lined up, not amazingly. So hello there, everyone that has popped in. I'm just going to move you guys slightly down, but just by moving my camera down slightly. Okay, if you do hear a faint click on and off, it's because I do have my hot foiling platform nicely warmed up on the side, and we'll do those first. So this one is the Golden Days. So in this one, we have this beautiful bloom as well as two different like leaf clusters, and this is a layering set. So we do get the layering guide in this one, so you can quickly and easily pop those together. I do have samples with all of these things off to the side. So here is one using that very pretty Golden Days, and then we have another one there too. As well as the stamp set, which is 6x8, we also have a coloring, a mask stencil, sorry. So that's going to enable you to add a base layer to the images and also mask off the images too. Asmara, they are so pretty. Hello there, everyone that has popped in. As well as that, we do have the die set. I know a lot of you, me included, do love a die set which coordinates with the stamp set because it means we don't have to do as much fussy cutting. Right, so on the Golden Days theme, now these aren't truly matching to the stamp set, but they do coordinate with it perfectly because as you can see, this huge image here that you're going to get on the hot foil plate, I didn't mention that it was hot foil plate, but on the hot foil plate, this huge one is the same flower that's on this one, but it is extremely larger. So you can see that we do have the hot foil plate, and we also have the simple coloring stencil for this one too. We have 4 different stencils in here to allow you to add the layers to this. Now, you don't necessarily need the hot foil plate. If you don't have a hot foiling machine and you don't do hot foiling, you can still use this one on its own. It will work really perfectly because as you can see here, this one doesn't have the outline. This is just using the stencil here. Okay, next up we have Wedding Promises. I didn't show you an example from the hot foiling, but we will get to this. We will create one of these. So pretty. Oh, Vicky, they are amazing. So this is the Wedding Promises. In here, we have this beautiful cake. Now, this doesn't necessarily need to be used for weddings. You could use this for any celebration cards, for anniversaries. You just need to change up the sentiments. So as well as the outline, you do get the layers that fit within the cake. So you can quickly color that one in. But if you do love your coloring, you can also use your favorite coloring mediums to color this one in too. So that is the Wedding Promises stamp set 6x8. And then we have the die, which is going to cut around that large image from the stamp set too. Next up, we have Dotted Teardrops. Now, this is kind of a cross between a background building and a sentiment stamp set. So you get all the sentiments as well as all of these different elements that you can use to create some really breathtaking and beautiful backgrounds. You don't necessarily need to use the inspiration that we have in here. You can definitely create your own backgrounds with all of the images in here, and that's going to be so much fun to do. Yep, Christine, those stencils will work perfectly without the hot foil plate. Okay, so this one is the Here For You, and this is a 4x6 set, and we have 3 different elements in here, and they are all outlines as well as these great sentiments. I love these really bold ones. I think that they work so well on a card. Yes, sorry, Badia, we won't be going this time around, but maybe next year. And in here, we do have some inspiration for you, as well as something that you can color in and practice too, which is slightly smaller size than the one that we have there, as well as the stamps that we do have the coordinating die set available too. Thank you so much for being with us, everyone, and for sharing. It does mean a lot to us at Altenew HQ. Also, if you do share, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. Oh, I didn't know they'd cancelled. I am sorry, Badia. Maybe next year. Next up, we have the folk flowers. Now, this one is so cool. So we have 3 different stencils in here, which is going to allow you to create a really beautiful background. Now, but when you look at this background, you can see that we have like a full shape here. And that is where the die is going to come into play. So you can be able to cut out this bit here and create some focal images too, as well as the stencil and the die set, which also has that coordinating charming. We also have the folk flower details. Now, this is going to allow you to add details to the set that you can see on here. So you're going to be able to add the stamens, the little leaf veins, and also some little dots to backgrounds too. Oh, I've missed something. I've just seen something about avocado skins and I'm a little bit intrigued. Okay, Sue. Hi there, everyone. Thank you for joining. We're nearly through this part and then we're going to get into doing a little bit of crafting. Next up, we have Sentiment Strips 3. I know that Sentiments 1 and 2 have been very popular, and this one I think is really cool as well. My favorite one, well, favorite 2 in here, it says, when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. And I think that is a really great kind of sentiment cluster that you can use, but there are so many other different ones in here, like Sparkle On, Darling. These ones are kind of really quirky, whereas the other 2 were more general. So this one is a great one to add to your stash too. Okay. We also have Dotted Tile Debossing cover die. Now, this doesn't necessarily cut out any of the images, it just kind of pokes holes in your background so you can create some really great looks. I have it here, so I've added it onto a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and you're going to see it's going to take it to the edge. There was a really great, well, there was a load of great cards using this one on the blog hop, but one by Teresa Letchfield really caught my eye, so you may want to check that one out. What she did with this is amazing, so it looks good. I don't think that's snarky. I don't know. Okay. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Then we have the Cube Builder Hot Foil Plate. So this one is going to add some hot foil onto your background so you can then create this beautiful one if you do have the Cube Builder stencil. Now, this Cube Builder stencil was released, I think it was a couple of years ago, and these ones do work perfectly together and we can create something with that one. Last but not least, we have the Whimsical Peony. So this is the hot foil plate, and then you're going to hot foil that and then use the stencil to add in the design. And I do have it over to the side so you can take a look at how it is going to look. Okay. So as well as those, we did add some gel pens into our collection. We have a white one, a gold one, and also a silver one in the packet. And hopefully we're going to take a look at those too. Okay, there we go. So we've got through everything, and I am going to do my hot foiling first so I can turn my hot foiling machine off, and then we can get rid of that annoying little clicking that we can hear at the side. So I'm just going to grab all of my hot foil plates and we'll do them in a cluster. Okay. So let's go with the golden days first. I have already cut my foil for this, and I'm going to bring in my hot foil plate. I may need to kind of sneak off so I can run this through my die cutting machine, because you do need that pressure, but I might just bring my machine over. So what we're going to do with this is we are going to remove the hot foil plate and make sure that you don't have any of this little backing that keeps it onto your packaging, because that's not great. You don't want that on your hot foil plate. So I'm going to open this up and then pop that into place. And this is where you're going to have to leave it for a little minute so your hot foil plate heats up to the same temperature as the hot foil platform. Okay, so I will just grab my die cutting machine and I've just popped it onto my stool, so I'm stood up. So if you do hear a little bit of clomping, that's my feet. Okay, so I have this heating up, and it is heating up really, really well because I have had this on for a little while now. I'm going to grab my cardstock that I want, and I have some foil. So I've already cut around my hot foil plate onto some foil, and you're going to want to place the foil pretty side down. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to take the cardstock that I wish to foil, and I know with my machine I need a couple of extra shims. You may not need shims, but if you are using shims and you need a little bit more pressure, just make sure that you don't add too much, because you don't want to damage either your hot foil plate, your machine, or even your die cutting machine. So then I am going to open this up and move that off to the side a little bit and bring in my die cutting machine. Now what I do is I run this through a couple of times. So this is nice and warm. I'm sorry about the clunking, everyone. Mine is, I do need to kind of tighten it or get a new machine. It's a bit clunky. And I do go through. Oh no, Kathy! I did not know that the folk flowers had sold out. But what I would recommend, if you did want to get your hands on that, is to sign up on the website for the notifications when it does come in, and then you'll be able to get your hands on it then. So I'm just going to move that up, and then this is my favorite bit of the foiling, is just when you take that off. I mean, it's a little bit nerve-wracking doing it live because you're hoping that everything's going to go perfect, but it did. I mean, I've got a little bit of overfoil here, but if I had trimmed that down, that would have been perfect. But there we go. So I'm going to leave that over to the side. We can use the stencil in a sec. I'm going to keep that because I have a trick for that as well. And I'm just going to remove my hot foil plate off. Now this will be warm, so I'm just going to use my tweezers just to pull it off. But it doesn't take too long to cool down. I'm going to put that one back in so we can let that heat up again so we can move on to the other seat. That's fine. That's good enough for me to touch now. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that one away as it's nice and cool. Right, another hot foil plate. I'm going to go with the cube builder. I am sorry, Roxy, that I'm rushing through these ones, but I will spend a little bit extra time when I'm doing the other things. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So I'm gonna, yeah, that's heating up. It's gone green, so I can pop my other one on. And this one is the cube builder. So again, I'm gonna let that heat up for a little minute. This one is so cute. So this is the cube builder. You can definitely use it on its own, but if you do have the cube builder stencil, which was released, I'm gonna say 2 years ago, it works perfectly. Okay. Okay, so I didn't actually cut this, and I was going to. So I just have some foil here. Hopefully that's large enough. If not, never mind, we'll be okay. So I think that's okay. Lift that up again, pretty side down. And how pretty is this? It's like a little kaleidoscope. So I'm going to pop that down. Another piece of cardstock. I'll tell you what I did on Tuesday. I actually ran out of white cardstock. That hasn't happened for such a long time, and I did. And thankfully Wednesday I had a package coming, and I was able to have some white cardstock. But Tuesday I was all out of it. I know. So I'm going to take that out of there and then run that through. Vicky, the foil that I have, I believe is sorry, I'm going to let that go through. I think I need a new die cutting machine. The foil I used was from Spellbinders, I believe it's Glimmer. And that's where I've got this one from. Okay. I'm hoping that that's foiled perfectly. Let's see. This is where you hold your breath. Okay, I didn't have enough pressure here, but because the foil is kind of holographic, it's not as noticeable as it could be. So normally I would run that through again, but as I'm live, I'm just going to stick with it and we're going to go with it. Okay, tweezers. And then we can do, the last one in the release. Oops, that was a bit warm, that one. Where are you? Where is that? There it is. So the other one is the Whimsical Peony. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one down and let that one heat up as well. Okay, so this one is taking a little bit longer to cool down, but it's okay. We're good. I'm happy. Oh, Roxy, I should have asked for it if it's a Christmas present. That would have been yeah. But how stressful is it when you run out of white cardstock? Oh, who'd have thought? So I have my plate. Hopefully it's heated up to temperature. I also have my foil, which obviously I've cut the wrong way, but it's good. It's covering. We're okay. And then another piece of cardstock on that. Oops, don't roll up, little thing. No, stay down. There we go. And then my shims. Again, if you don't need to use shims, don't use them, okay? You don't want to put too much pressure through your machine. Bev, the cardstock that I'm using is the Classic Crest Solar White from Nia. I'm just going to go with that. Move that over. Okay. I can turn my machine off now. So the clicks should be gone. Oh no, Mercedes. You can't run out of adhesive as well. Adhesive and white cardstock, I think, are the main things that, we try to always have a stash of, but sometimes it goes awry. All right. Oh, this one I didn't run through as many times and I didn't get this foiling here. But if I'd have ran it through that other time that I normally do, that would have got it. I'm sorry, everyone, but we're going to go. Going with it, turn my machine up. All right. I think someone did mention about using the negative, and I did want to show how you can, because look, I already have one here. So this is the negative foil that you get. Oh yes, so I could put the sentiment over there. Good call. Okay, so also I think with this one it looks like a tulip. So if you weren't to put on the additional layers, you could definitely turn this one into a tulip. So there we go. So that is the negative that we got from here, and how I use it. I did use it on a crafty corner recently. I don't know if it was the last Friday, because I work so far ahead on the videos that I create for YouTube. I'm not sure when they go live, so I'm sorry. I do have a piece of double-sided adhesive from Altenew, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. And then I'm going to place that foil down. So I'm just going to crease where I think I'm not going to need. And it's always a good idea to kind of trim the edges of this. This is just, you've got to just go for it. So you're going to place it where you think it's going to go, and where it lands, it's got to go. Okay. I use this little bone folder. It works pretty well. I have a little bit of a crease in that, but we're going to go with it. Normally I'd spend a little bit more time on this. So I'm just kind of pushing it out towards the edge so you don't get any air bubbles in it, which I have. Oh. Okay. And then once I've got it to that point where it's on the double-sided adhesive, all I would do is just take my scissors and I would just snip around. So I'm not going to do it with this one because I already have this one already at that point. And then we also have the adhesive on the back, so you can just pop this on to whatever you want. You could even add it on to your like electronical devices if you wanted to, the back of your laptop. So you could definitely use that negative as well. Okay, so I've shown you how to use the negative. Let's go with the positive part. And we should have the stencil for this one. I seem to be losing things. All right, so move those over. We're going to get two of those. And I have the Golden Day stencil. Now, like I said, you don't necessarily need the hot foil plate to use this stencil. You could use this stencil by itself. I'm just going to pop that into place around the outline. Add a little bit of tape. Now, this is the satin masking tape from Altenew. This is my favorite masking tape of all time. So I have some inks, and you know what I've been doing? I've been doing the colors that I don't normally use. So I do want a large blending tool for this one. I'm trying to see what colors I've got. I have a blue, so I'm going to go with these blue colors here. So I have Iceberg. Oh, yep, you could definitely play around with that one too, Lotheran. I do love my large blending tool, especially for blending surfaces of this size. It adds like the perfect amount of ink. I'm just adding it around the edges because I know that this part here is going to be colored a different color and I don't want to go over the stamens. So that's just going to add a lighter side in there. Take my tape off. My perfect tape. So cool. Move that into a cleaning pile. I'm going to take the second one. And I'm just lining up this edge here. The rest of it kind of sorts itself out. I love that. Makes me happy. Roxanne, no, I don't believe a spray would dry over a foiled surface. It will resist it. It's kind of like embossing powder in that respect, just flatter and shinier. So this one is the Eastern Sky. Oops. Now the bridges on this are quite fine, so you do want to be kind of gentle when you are going over this part here. Again, I'm adding more of the color around the edge. I just like the gradient effects. You can definitely add a fuller coverage if you want to, but for time and my kind of gradient preference, I'm just going to leave it at that. But look how cool it is. Okay, so that's the second layer. Oops, and I've dropped the first one on the floor. I'm going to move on to the third one. Again, lining up this edge again. I seem to have been missing comments. I'm going to move my comment thing up again. One sec. Sorry, everyone. I don't want to miss questions. Like a trace of outline I could use after coloring to add heat and plus. Joni, yep, we can add that forward. Mercedes, definitely sign up for the reminder if you do want to add this one into your stash. So this one is the Ultramarine. And this one I can be a little bit more vigorous with because the bridges on this one aren't so fine. As you can see, that took me mere seconds to color that one. And then we have a fourth layer too. Just, it makes me so happy. And for this one, I'm going to line up this image and the centerpiece. And the azurite. Okay. So that's going to add in those really dark areas. I'm not going to reveal it just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and sneakily move the little flower center over so you can't see the full effect just yet. Sorry, everyone. Pop that into place. And I'm going to use some orange. I'm going to use orange cream. Just grabbing out a orange blending tool. This is going to take a mere second to do. Okay, are we ready? And then when we lift this up, we can see how beautiful that image is there. So what I'm going to do is, because we don't have a die for this, you would need to either chop it to size, maybe you're creating a large card, or you can just fussy cut around the edge. I don't know about you. I do like fussy cutting large images like this. I don't know. Okay. But I am going to leave it there because you can see. I mean, you could even partially cut it, but it is so, so pretty. So that I have it in that colorway. I also had another one I can't seem to find at the minute. Oh, so we had a dark one. I also have some samples using this one. Here we go. Okay, so they're all blue colors. Okay. So we have a nice tealy one, we have a dark blue, and also a bright blue there. You can tell I'm a blue girl. So, yep, the reveal, Barbara, I just love it. It makes me so happy. So there is the beautiful Golden Days hot foiling plate and also the stencil. Let's go with the next one that we have. And my desk is a mess. I cannot find things. All right. So let's go with the Whimsical Peony. I know that we didn't quite foil this perfectly, but I'm going with it. Okay. So the way we can tell that this stencil is the right way is because we do have etching on it. So it does have a little Altenew sign on there. So that is the way that it is going to be used. And you can either go with this piece first or you can go with the other piece first. I don't think it particularly matters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with this one and I'm just going to fit it in with the foil in it. It fits in like a jigsaw puzzle. And again, let's go with those blues. We have them out, right? So I'm going to go with ultramarine. Ultramarine. Oh, wow. I did not clean this stencil very well. And that blue is vivid. Vivid, vivid, vivid. So there is the first layer done. You can see how easy that was there. I think I've got glue on it. Oops. And move that one into position. Again, like a jigsaw. Okay. And let's go with the azurite. Oh, thank you, Laurie. Yeah, my desk is always a mess. I think I clean it up before the lives and then after the lives, I'm like, I did just clean that an hour ago. Oh, it would make an amazing easel card. Good call, Roxanne. Yep, Vicky, you could definitely play with the colorways on the foil as well. So there is the beautiful Whimsical Peony with the stencil and also that foiling. Now, I'm not really happy about the foiling, how it's turned out, but maybe, just maybe if we did have like a small spot that hadn't foiled, we could probably use our fabulous gel pen to kind of color in the gaps. You can see just how well that does go on too. Such a fine point, but yeah, we can definitely pop a sentiment in there and the gel pen will work perfectly for that one. Okay, also I should have said that with this one, if we'd have wanted to add any extra highlights, we could take our white gel pen and add those in too. Now this is really quite opaque. I don't know if you can see because it's quite far away, but I have added a small highlight there. Maybe I needed to add it on a darker color. There we go. So you can see on the darker color that is showing up better. But yeah, you can add extra highlights with your white gel pen. Okay. Ooh, two-tone gold would be cool, Sarah. That would be really, really cool. Yep, that would work too to fix the mistake. Just add a little bit of glue. So this is the cube builder, and I did have this one here. So this was with the cube builder hot foil plate. We hot foiled that. And the cube builder stencil will work with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work out where that goes. And I'm just going to flip it. Okay, and then if I line this up correctly, line, and a little bit of tape. Where did my other piece of tape go? That one will do. And again, I'm going to use some blue. The blues are out. The blues are out. We're going blue today. Okay, and then we're just going to go over. I'm using the ultramarine for this one. And then, ta-da! I mean, you can definitely add in the other. Let's do it, shall we? Let's do it. So you can turn it around again, and you can add in those two. You don't necessarily just leave it as one. So let's just pop that in. And let's go with a darker blue. Okay. There we go. We can add in all of those layers to make them look like the tops of the box or the side of the box, or you could definitely just use it on its own. Oh, it is so cool. And if you wanted to, you could even do some more foiling too. But there we go. So there is that one. I think we have time just to show the folk flowers. Did people want to see the folk flowers, or do you guys want to see the Golden Days stamp being layered up? Let me know. Did have a card using the Golden Days, and I think that was released on Friday, or unless it's coming up and I've shown you a sneak peek. Maybe this is a sneak peek. Maybe this one's coming next week. So yeah, folk flowers, Golden Days folk flowers. We have a mix of opinions. What I'll do is I'll do this one really quickly and see where we are. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just do this center portion here. Okay, so you can do the whole of the background if you wish, or you can also just pick out this full image here. So I'm just going to go in with some Sweet Leaf. I'm just picking out this portion. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Everything's looking very bright. I'm going to just turn that light off there. Hopefully we can see a bit better. And I'm going to take the second stencil. Okay, and it's going to fit just within these 2 points here. Again, I'm going blue. Reason being, there's blue on here, so we're going with it. So there we go. Quick and easy. And then I'm going to take the third stencil. And this is going to fit. You can see that I've used this a couple of times because I'm popping these together really very easily. Add a bit of purple to this one. This is Wisteria. And it was on a pink blending tool. There we go. Quick and easy to pop those together. We do have the little stamp set that's going to allow you to add those details in. I thought I had it. There we go. So then we have the little two little leaf images. Okay. I'm just going to use the same ink because we've ink blended that one. This will be darker because we are stamping it. So we have two large leaves on the stem. And then we also have two smaller leaves. So then you can take your die and then cut around this image here and then use it as a focal point or focal image on your design. So that was quick and easy. Let's go with layering up the golden days, and let's have a purple one. I don't really use purple, so, and it is the color of the year, so I should probably use a little bit more. So I have my outline. I'm going to grab a bigger block because this is quite large. And I'm thinking instead of using black, which I normally would, I'm going to just go with my darkest color. So this is the Andromeda. So this is going to give us more of a no line look, even though we will have the line there. Sarah, they would work. That would work really well. So that is the Andromeda down, and it kind of looks black, but it's not. And then the base layer would be on the coloring stencil if you did want to use that. So this is the mask stencil. Just going to move that around until I get it into place. And then add a touch of purple down. Okay, maybe pink. Maybe I added pink with that one. There we go. So that's going to be your base layer if you did want a full color. Otherwise, you can leave the base layer and then have that beautiful white highlight instead. And then I'm going to go on to the wisteria. Oh, Roxanne, yeah, I try to clean things, but I broke my New Year's resolution already. So I don't know, do I start again or do I just leave it? So that's the wisteria down. Oh. I don't think that layering stamps are ever gonna not surprise me when I lift them up and it's like, that is amazing. Because every time I lift them up, I think it is fabulous. Okay. And again, this is one that I have layered up a couple of times and you can tell because the stamps are pretty dirty and I'm just going in there with these ones. These ones have been used quite a lot. I know that this bit at the bottom is like the darkest, and then I line up the centerpiece for this last layer here. And then I'm going to use the ultraviolet for the last layer. I think it's the third coloring layer, not counting the layer from the stencil. But there we go. You can see that we have that really pretty image there. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you my cards that I created with this release. This one is a sneak, so keep an eye out for that one in the next crafty corner. Okay, so this one was using the large gilded, Golden Days hot foil plate and stencil, and the stencil is the sentiment even is from the Here For You stamp set. The beautiful flower is from the Here For You stamp set. And then we have the hot foil again from the Cube Builder hot foil and the Cube Builder stencil, as well as a sentiment from the Sentiment Strips 3. This one is the beautiful Whimsical Peony, and you can see I've gone for pinks and a little bit of that holographic foil, as well as a sentiment. And I believe this sentiment is from the Here For You. I'm not 100% on that one. This one is from the really cool Folk Flowers. Another Folk Flowers there. Here For You with a little bit of marker colouring. Then we have the beautiful Golden Days. This one is using that dotted tile debossing cover die for the background, but the background on this one is using some yellow with the beautiful dotted teardrops stamp set. So you can really create your own background on that one. And then I think I have another one here. Yep. This one is using that Wedding Promises stamp set with a sentiment from the Sentiment Strips 3. So hopefully these cards have inspired you, taking a closer look at the products of the new release too. Okay, so I'm gonna move you guys up so I can take a look at any comments. Also, if there are any questions, please let me know. We have a couple more minutes at the end. On the film flower. No, Vicky, that cube builder is amazing. It's so, so cool. You don't necessarily need to use it with the stencil. You can definitely use that one on its own to create a really cool background, or even cut out the strips to create foiled strips too. That would be really cool. Okay then, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today and for sharing. Thank you to the lovely Roxy for popping in the links too. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Which is my favorite from the release? I would say the Golden Days stamp set, because I just love a layering floral stamp set. So there we go. So everyone, thank you again. I'll see you again very, very soon, and have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.